Yes. So welcome everyone, and good evening everyone. So first of all, I want to really appreciate Sonali. Sonali, very great work. I quickly saw your summary. Very well done. So
Thank you.
good one. So keep
Yeah,
up.
absolutely. Very nice to see the videos from this batch also. So Sonali, well done.
Yes.
Thank
So
you, Prerna. Thank
so
you.
keep continuing, because that instills your own confidence. Yesterday, I remember I was talking to one of our candidate, she who has got placed, and she completed her around 2 or 3 months. So she said the importance of code of honor, as well as the importance of sharing the videos and doing all the assignments along with. Do you know what she said? It was showing up live. So that these things have really worked in a worked at ground level. But the most importantly, overall, what she said, that in parallel what she attended every single thing in our RP session, even though she found that was repetitive every single day, that has made her moving and to get placed. So I was completely surprised. So I'll be airing her talk or conversation with me very soon. I would highly recommend each one of you to go through this short interview with her, so you will be completely inspired to know this is nothing but this is a system what we are sharing with you. This is not just a training. The way you are getting prepared is really thing which you can't find anywhere else. A few things we did not record. That was she was talking, she was also got she was also got trained in some other training program. But ultimately, in the market, what people are intending to make money, and they don't have any intention to share anything openly, that what exactly they want to do with the candidate at the end. So how in the open market people are getting scammed, and instead of that, what she found here, the value which she is applying where she has got placed, is really, she was complete in gratefulness, and she started doing her charity. That really made me surprised, that she said that she was not doing it, but she remembered the code of honor. And based on that, she is really donating every single month uh, from her pocket, from her income. So that is really making her feel really happy about it. So imagine, once you get placed and you also start doing something about the society, how would you feel? So any quick sharing, how would it make you feel when you start giving back to society? How do you feel?
Definitely awesome.
Definitely awesome. Yes, Sonali, thank you so much. And upon how would you feel when you will start giving back to this society?
I feel happy that
Oh,
I'm able to help the community in some way.
wow, amazing. And Pratibha, what about you? How would you feel?
Hello, everyone. Hello, sir. Yeah, I would be extremely happy, sir.
Extremely happy. Wow, amazing. And Sawan, how about you? How would you feel?
I, I would feel good about
Good.
myself.
Wow, good about yourself. Amazing. These are the things really that uplifts you every single day. So thank you so much, everyone, for sharing. So yeah, so let's move and continue to start doing the importance of code of honor and what all these things are. This is something which keeps on protecting your goal. And the very number one is showing up live, that is on time, remaining punctual, and remain highly committed. Why? You know that how you do anything is how you do everything, is the universal law associated with it, that keeps you preparing to show up once you get placed in every single meeting in the corporate of America, in IT. And this is just a beginning and a stepping stone towards the same thing what you are going to do once you get placed. Second one is, because you are learning, This is your training under the first pillar of Guru Schools, that is instructor-led free training, which will award you with the diploma of completion of this particular track. But because you are learning, you don't need to remain a student. You have to become a full stack student who do all the assignments and self-research and repeat what you have learned. The third one is taking the full responsibility of success as well as failure. What you will give, you will get. You always know about it. Even to live a life, you need to give a few times. You need to exhale, you need to give out some breath, then you can take in. That's how important. Everywhere the complete transaction, it completes the circuit when you take the responsibility of giving, and when you complete all the assignments, that time you can take the responsibility of success. If not, then comes the failure. And even if you take the responsibility of failure, that can be the trail to the success. Otherwise, failure remain the failure. That's it, just like a label. And the fourth one is mindset. On this journey, what you need as a student, a bulletproof positive mindset. That's what I say. And having the learning mindset, complaint-free mindset, because even if you find some things that time is not supporting you, and still you are coming back because you have committed to yourself that come what may, I'm going to give my 100%, then only you can crawl up and you can ride up in this journey. And that defines the learning mindset. And then only you will not complain, you will go complaint free. And if you are going complaint free, kindly load yourself with the gratitude, because that is the only element which can make you complaint free. And when you go complaint free, you may have learning mindset that will continue to support through positive mindset. And the fifth one is increasing receptivity every single day, and that can be done through the number one is by listening to the audio in 2x mode. I remind you. Why? Because that saves your 50% of time. That is 20 minutes, but it also increases your focus, and it keeps you pumping up towards the direction of your goal, what you really want to conquer very, very soon. And once you are doing this, then second one, any learning you need to follow with the golden quadrant, and that says that start it with the declaration along with the anchor, and then learn, and then draw, then summarize. Like you saw today's Sonali's summary, how she was explaining. She could not even show the drawing. I believe she might have done the drawing, but let me get the confirmations from Sonali itself. So Sonali, before summarizing, have you also created the drawing or the notes in some manner? You had done
Yes,
it?
Gaurav. Yes,
Yes.
Gaurav. I draw each and every topic, whatever we learn in every session, so that I can, whenever I'll go for summarize or to understand, I'll get a good understanding from that.
Wow, brilliant. Can we have a round of applause for Sonali, because she is putting her effort, so that requires to be awarded. And definitely Sonali will continue to do this. You are going to see the result, and I would, along with this, highly recommend you to continue to attend the RRP session. Have not started yet, then continue to resume to do that. Awesome. Thank you so much. So what we are going to do is that we are going to start towards the very first element of the golden quadrant of learning. And that is nothing but the declaration with the anchor. You know what is that? Anchor is nothing but a self clap or self high five, that at the count of 3, you are going to declare. Are you ready for this? Yes, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So let's begin. 1, 2, 3, and go. I am a quick learner.
I'm a quick learner.
I'm a quick learner.
What others can learn and master,
What
What
others
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 can
can
learn and
learn and
master.
master.
I too can do that.
I
I
too
too
can
can
do
do
that.
do
that.
that.
Because I am an awesome learner.
Because I'm an
Because
awesome
I'm an
learner.
awesome learner.
Today's learning is going to be
Today's
Today's
learning is
learning
going to
is
be
going to
Learning is
be
going to be
super duper easy to me.
super
Super
duper
duper
easy to
easy
me.
to me.
And once again, anchor and say that, yes, it is going to be 1, 2, 3, and anchor. Yes, it is going to be.
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
it is going to be.
Yes,
Thank
it
you.
is going to.
Thank you so much for sharing that. We have just completed, a declaration with the anchor, the very first quadrant of the learning. The second we are getting into that is towards the learning. But before we do that, remember the last and the final code of honor is being the giver. That on this path, you start giving away your ego first so that you can embrace a lot of learning and you can scale it up, and that keeps you spiritually grounded every single time on this path of growth. And remember, once you get placed, and in fact, even if you have not got placed yet and you are into some another job, still if you are making some money out of it, I would suggest you to keep away and give away 5% or 10% of your earning, because when you give, you grow, and when you receive, you may survive. And I don't want everyone to just survive. I want each one of you to continue to grow. And what goes around comes around, so more you give, more you will grow. And if you can do that, appreciate what others are or what you are doing for yourself and what others are doing for you. And even something does not happen in your favor, so start appreciating yourself, because you never find that this step is preparing you for the next step. Because why you need to appreciate, because what you appreciate appreciates you. And that's the reason I keep on asking you that, hey, if you found someone doing something great, please clap for her or clap for him. So that's the reason we continue to appreciating everyone. So thank you so much for listening to Code of Honor. And now we are taking a deep dive towards where? Towards today's learning. And do you know what we are going to learn today? So I'm going to share what we are going to learn today. And the topic is going to be product backlog management, self-organizing, and cross-functional team. Can everyone see my screen? Please confirm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So yes, today we are getting into product backlog management. What is product backlog management? So we are going to look at it. So what you see here, the product backlog management, product backlogs are just like iceberg. So here what you see, releases. And can you see again the tickets? Can you see? I told you about tickets, candidates in the last session.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these
Yes.
small pieces, small blocks are nothing but these are the tickets, and these are the epics, and these are the same user stories. So even if it is not in sprint planning, you will have to make it into the user story. So whatever you are going to work in future, always remain in the low priority, because remember that attaching and tagging every single ticket with the priority is very, very important, and accordingly it will be fetched inside the sprint planning. And the current release will be always in the high priority. And every single release will be considered as the iteration. And what you see is above the iceberg means is the current backlog. The more you will find coming up in the future, it could become as a change as well. So quickly, what the slide says is this: the product backlog is owned by whom? A product owner, and reviewed during the sprint planning meeting. It's important that product owners describes the task in clear, customer focused language. It is very, very important because it is discussed where? In sprint planning meeting. Where it is discussed, can everyone repeat where it is discussed?
Sprint planning meeting.
Planning meeting.
Exactly.
Planning.
Exactly. What someone is saying something else, but I heard everyone saying sprint planning as well. So yeah, sprint planning meeting. So it's important that product owners describe this task in clear customer focused language without technical specification. There, that time when discussion is going to happen, not necessary that technical specification has to be talked or explained or explored. all product backlog items are estimated by developers, and that happens when in the sprint planning meeting. Their estimation determine the number of items that will be selected for the upcoming sprint. There are various method and various way to estimate every single ticket, and regarding that we are going to look at it very, very soon. And so it's a list of functionalities. I always give a this example with the bread loaf example. Do you remember, everyone? I gave a few times back in past the example of bread loaf.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So thank you so much for remembering that. Exactly in the similar manner, every single functionality is sliced, and just like a slice, and that is taken inside into consideration in sprint planning meeting. And so it's a list of not only functionalities, technical requirement, but also enhancement that are maintained and managed by the product owner. So it is initially product owner's responsibility to simplify it. If something is missing from product backlog, it does not exist. So if a product exists, its product backlog also exists. So remember, this is very, very important. If product is there, its product backlog come into existence and can be brought into existence. Product backlog is never complete. It is dynamic, keeps on changing. It changes constantly during work progress because new idea functionalities appear. Some of them change or move up or down the backlog list. So even if you are working on certain item in the current sprint, customer may come before review, during review, or any point of time, or anyone else may come and may request that, hey, can you add these functionalities? And if you are a developer or BA or anyone, so if you are approachable directly, you will be asked to do. But what should be happening? Any idea in the circumstances? In case customer comes in to you and they ask you, hey, Sonali, Savan, or Pratibha, or Aparna, can you please add these enhancement? What should be your response? Any idea?
You would have to ask to tell them that we would have to ask the Scrum Master.
Okay, any other guesses? Any other answer, please?
I think that is not the direct which we can take the decision for. So I think we can say that let me check with the product owner about the same.
Okay.
Being a Scrum Master, you can.
Exactly, Sonali. That's the right answer. Yeah. To Scrum Master, we are not approaching for this, but yes, as Sonali said, that definitely we can answer them as that product owner is the right person who is going to decide about it. So definitely you will pass this information to product owner, and product owner is the person who is going to take decision. But this is for sure that we ourselves are not going to decide, or we are not going to accommodate this. So Scrum Master, this is one of the question for Scrum Master. This is one of the interview question, by the way. Okay, so you can definitely take a note of it. So Scrum Master, herself is not going to decide about it. So of course he will direct it to the whom. But yeah, in case it comes into the consideration, or it comes into the sight of Scrum Master, he is going to act upon it very, very soon, because it can be the one of the impediment which he needs to resolve immediately. So it changes constantly during work progress because new ideas, functionalities appear, and some of them change or move up or down in the backlog management or backlog list. So what you see here quickly is a bit more explanation about product backlog. So Prerna, would you like to take this up?
Gaurav, I'm okay if you continue. I can take the
Okay.
next,
Okay, no
sequence.
problem.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, super. So what do you see here is product backlog, various features. Okay, and prioritizing is happening. People are giving their estimate, and the refinement of product backlog is accordingly going on. So it's a prioritized set of requests for desired product functionality and contains all necessary items to complete the product release. Okay, and this breaks down requests into a series of tasks for the development team and is an essential component to guide your agile development team. So as thinnest the requirement would be, as easiest the delivery of it would be. Okay, so remember that. And finally, the product backlog has to take a shape of what, an action item. It has to take a shape of a task, an activity. Okay, and before that it can appear as a feature, as an enhancement, as a user story, and before that a feature, and before that it could be an epic. Are you clear on this, everyone, on what is product backlog, how it has been refined? Are you with me so far,
Yes.
everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
Yes.
one quick question.
yeah, go ahead.
When we say the estimate, that is a estimate from the developers. That is a estimation to deliver the product.
Okay, so this estimation is not about the delivery of the product. So for the complete delivery of a sprint, say for example, sprint has to be delivered in certain time, and for that every sprint time duration is defined before even the sprint can begin. So it can be 1 week to 4 weeks. Say for example, I as a product owner decided that my all the projects will go for 4 weeks. So the entire requirement will be delivered in the iteration of 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks, and 4 weeks. So in sprint planning meeting, what is going to happen? I'm going to pick, say for example, 6 or 10 user story or 6 or 10 product backlog items. Okay, so we will be discussing, we will be identifying as user story, and if it is broken down into the user story, now I will invite from each one of you all the team members. Say for example, in my team 5 people are there. 5 people consist of 2 business analysts. Okay, not 2 business analysts, 1 business analyst, 2 developers, and 2 testers. So I'll ask each one of you. So I said what? 2 developers, 2 tester, and 1 business analyst. So I will invite estimation from every one of you, because you all are part of this Scrum team, which is also known as development team. I as a product owner may ask you, hey, Sonali, you being a business analyst, user story needs to be refined very, very well. All the supporting diagram needs to be uploaded in user story. All the mock-up design has to be completed, and acceptance criteria will be written very, very well for all this 6 user story or 6 item of this product backlog. What do you think, how long you can take? You will apply various estimation technique. You will give your own answer that I'll take for this user story these hours, this user story these hours, and same will go with the development team. Developer team, these 2 people, they will tell how long they will take individually to develop certain feature, and the same will go with the tester. They will answer how long they will take. So this is how they are going to give their own estimate. So is it clear with you?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, so this is how it happens. So this is few tips for product owner on product backlog management. So I'll complete this as well. So as a product owner, you are responsible for product backlog management to maximize the value of the product. The product backlog is the single source of truth which contains all the work to be done on the product. You will have to make some choices about what to build first and what to build later, but also what to build and what not to build. Do you know what does it define? Any guesses? So this defines scope. What does it define? Can you repeat? What does it define? Everyone?
Scope.
Defines the scope.
Exactly. So this defines the scope, what to build, what not to build. The main tool to manage the product and gain predictability is the backlog. So the main tool to manage the product and gain. So this is also called as gain and give. Sometime it is also called as give and take. So this is predictably this is predicted during the backlog refinement. So okay, so as it says, the main tool to manage the product and gain predictability is the backlog. So backlog refinement is one very key thing for these activity. But if it grows uncontrollably, the value it provides diminishes. So product owner, future product owner, you need to be very careful that you are going to define its priority. Otherwise, it will go beyond your control. Okay. An unreasonably long backlog is a major pain point for many agile teams. So remember that your responsibility to control in a way every single backlog item so that it can be completed within the time frame. And let me quickly show you how does it look more in detail. So this is your product backlog item. We'll move to the sprint planning where you are refining. And once you decided to deliver in how many days, every single day for 24 hours, which is divided in 8 hours of working day, you will be delivering 11111 ticket. You will be completing 111 ticket. So this represents that you discuss these the three things, what you are going to complete in next state, and what you have done in next past state, and if any impediment appears accordingly. Okay. So tips for product owner continues that you need to set the priorities, keep the product backlog manageable, and that's the very reason it invites the fractioning of the epic into user story. Review the backlog periodically, and this is very important. And you also need to delete items what you will never do. Why to keep that? Because you will find even on your desktop or even at your home, you are keeping many items thinking that I would need it in future. Okay. And you end up finding it not. And it psychologically and in reality sometimes keeps you overburdened, over exhausted. So the very important thing is that you need to declutter these all things. And starting with, especially when you are a product owner, you need to keep this in mind that you need to delete what you don't need. Okay. So keep items you are not ready for off the backlog. Do not add tasks unless you plan to do them soon. Always prioritize. Again, it is repeated. Always prioritize. Stick to one product backlog. You don't have to do it all yourself. Review the timeline. This is a very important thing, that as a product backlog items, it is quite easy to get feel overwhelmed because you need to deliver a lot. But the good news is that you don't have to deliver all at once. For that, you are given some sprint, and those sprint has been allocated in the roadmap of your delivery timeline. And in that, the smaller portion you are going to take for one sprint, and that you are going to work on them, and you are going to deliver. And in the continuity of this, it is important for you to know not everything has to be user story. Yes, because when you are listening to me every single time, so don't keep this in mind that every single thing has to be user story. Sometime a few things will come with the very clear action items. You can be tasked immediately. Few can be also tagged as a feature, new feature. So eventually what is going to happen, the end goal is to converting everything into the actionable item. So that's the reason it is said that not necessary that everything has to be converted into user story. Know what is on your product backlog. Reorder the product backlog continuously. Sometime you may see that what you had initially spoken will be high priority. Be flexible enough to rethink, reprioritize, and reset the priority as well, because agile is the continuous change, and every single time it can change at any mode, at any point of time. So you should be flexible enough to adjust the priority. The product backlog should not be complete, and that's the reason it sits in the product backlog. Focus on what and why, and when you will focus it on these things, you know how to deliver them. Okay, then put it on the wall, so that it remains visible every single time. You realize that you are running parallel with the time, so that mostly you can deliver before the time. There is more than customer or business value. Remember, once you are going to get placed, okay, once you are going to get placed, you don't have to sit there idle just to make some money. Okay, that is not going to work in a longer run. When you are going to get placed, every single of you need to give more than what you are receiving from your organization, because organization is not giving you to work over there. Do you know why organization is willing to pay you? Any company, because your existence and your work is going to add value to their customer, and that's the very reason you are going to get paid. So remember, when you are once going to get placed, remember to continue to add a value. Continue to think that, hey, I'm over here, can I deliver more what I am being paid for? Okay, and you will go to the bed every single day with the raised confident, with the headed up confident that you have added value. Okay, and this level of confidence, no one can beat it. Okay, no one can beat it. You feel like a master of your own task, master of your own work. And that's the reason I request everyone to instill this intent to add value once you get placed. Okay, without that, working will not give you really good pay. Okay, the more you add value, the more you can get. And on this point of time, once again, I want every one of you to remind, to go back and listen to The Strangest Secret. If you have not been listening to it every single day in the 2x will let you know that how important it is to add value wherever you are working. You will get to know that who is today highly paid personality in this entire world. Okay, so there is a more than customer or business value. Keep stakeholders updated. That is very, very important. And self-organizing and cross-functional team will be the part of this entire discussion. And who are self-organizing team, what all are cross-functional team, that we are going to learn from Prerna. Okay, so
Absolutely.
Prerna,
Thank
over
you
to
so
you.
much. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this in detailed explanation, and I'm
Yes.
pretty sure everybody must have understood in properly. If not, we will have the Q&A later. Right now, let's start with one of the very interesting and practical, I would say, part of this entire session, wherein we learn about how these teams work and why these teams are called as self-organizing and cross-functional. Okay. So, as the word suggests, self-organizing itself means, in plain English, that they organize themselves on their own. Okay. Now, this is the easiest explanation of this word, but how that is taken care of. Okay, 1 second. Just having a water. So, when I say these teams are self-organizing, this simply means that they do not need anyone to kind of control them or to kind of organize them as a team. But as we all know that these teams are highly skilled, highly experienced, best in what they do, and they are already in a proper, I would say, environment where they trust each other. Their team bonding is excellent. So in such environment, they do not need any external force or any external superior. Though we have the hierarchy of Scrum Master and Product Owner here, but that doesn't mean that they have to do micromanagement on that. I hope you understand when I say micromanagement. That means these teams know what is their responsibility is, what are the tasks that they have to take forward, and they continue and they complete on their own. Okay, so how do they do that, and why we call them this? So basically, these teams they do not depend, or they are not kind of waiting for their seniors to give them a kind of orders, or give them the task and then start working. Rather, they take the work and kind of pick up the assignments and start to work on their own. That's one of the biggest difference. In any many industries, many companies, you would see the work is being assigned by seniors to the juniors or to the other team members. But here in Scrum, because the teams know what is their strength, what is their specialization, they pick up the task on their own and they start working. Absolutely, everybody is aware of what others are working, so everything happens in a very in a very coherent manner. There is no confusion. Everybody knows, every team member is aware of their task. That is very important. That's why I've been highlighting so much on this. Second thing is, which is again very interesting and rather easy to understand, but it has some depth. So when I say cross-functional teams, what do you all understand when we say cross-functional team? Anybody and everybody is welcome. Yeah. Sonali, Aparna, Savan, Pratibha, what do you feel when we say cross-functional? Yeah, in plain English.
All the teams involved share their ideas and share what and all they know.
Okay, so you mean cross-functional means they have to share their ideas. Okay, interesting.
A
Anybody else?
cross-functional team is they have different ideas or views toward a same target. I think so.
Okay, this is
Hello.
also interesting. I have received a message from Aparmita. She says people from different teams coming together to work together. Now that's absolutely right. Thank you for your views. But when I say cross-functional team, it simply means, see, basically we are crossing different functions. What does that mean? That we are having team members or people or resources from different teams. Different teams means, I'll give you some basic understanding. In typical IT company, when we say development team, non-Scrum environment, okay, just try to remember. So when we say development team, that majorly means developers, different type of developers, maybe Java, .NET, front end, whatever. So it will comprise, or it should comprise of only developers in development team. But when I speak about Scrum and Scrum team, or development team in Scrum, that simply means everybody who is working in this project. There are developers, there are testers, there are BAs, there are architects, there are database experts. There is everybody, right? So by this simple understanding, we mean that there are testers have their own specific knowledge base, their experience, their background. BAs have their understanding. They are they can be domain expert, or they can be best in analysis of the particular industry experience. Then we have developers. It can be Java, .NET. Different types of developers. So this is a mix. And what this gives us, this gives us the best of all the worlds, because everybody has their own share of experience. They have their own I would say understanding. And when they all come together in this development team, the synergy or the thought process is very evolved. Everybody knows what they know. If, for example, a developer, one of the developer is a junior, and they know they need to have some clarity on some thought, then architect can pitch in, then a business analyst can share their experience. So this way, the entire, I would say, atmosphere or entire team is very well managed on their own, because first of all, they have a lot of trust and a good great rather great bond, not only good, great bond with each other, that they know what is their aim. Their aim is to achieve the sprint goal. Their aim is to deliver as per customer demands. So they all are working together towards that. Okay. So when I say cross-functional, means they come from a different domain, different background, different kind of work areas. Some for development, testers, analysis, architect, database, front end, web development, anything and everything that can be covered in IT, and that is required. Okay, so this is it. And last but not the least, yes, which I mentioned, that their goal is common, right? So they all know why they are here, what is their aim, and uh, what is the what I would say aim of their coming together as a team. So I hope this is understand. The only why I am emphasizing so much on this is because tomorrow when you enter in an industry or organization and you see the team, you should not get surprised that there are so many variety of people in one team, because generally it's like a BA group or testing team or development team. But here we have a mix of everybody. So does anybody have any question? Please raise your hand or please ask.
So Prerna, earlier we learned the Scrum team also. So that is the same,
Yeah.
right? Which we are
Yeah,
learning right.
I think I told you generally that these words are used synonymously,
Okay.
like Scrum team and development team. See,
Right.
basically, that's I told you. Many a times people get confused in industry when they say development team, because in traditional or waterfall or non-Scrum environment, development team simply means a team of developers. But when we talk about Scrum team,
Mhm.
we have everybody. Okay. So so
Right.
so, Scrum team also has your all developer, even your everybody who is working on that project, fine. So that is why it is called as Scrum team, and it is a kind of interchangeably used, so that's not an issue. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Anybody
Thank you.
else? Welcome. All are good. Now this is more of an explanation point of view. I'm pretty sure that it's not that confusing. So yeah, if nobody has any doubts, I'll request Gaurav if you want to add, or we can go to the next slide. I think we are good for the next slide. Yeah. So here you see from this diagram, it's kind of shown that all of them together are trying to fix this puzzle, and they are rather very successful. They are just adding the last bit and they're completing the puzzle. So here, when we do this, it simply means that self-organizing team is kind of integrated. They are together in different ways. So they don't need a manager, first of all, that we already discussed earlier. They don't need a manager, and they also don't need a project manager. So basically, what happens? They don't need any supervision as far as work is concerned, because they're aware what they want to do and what they have to deliver. Right? That I explained in the earlier slide. Then they are a kind of working, or they are formed without it's outside interference. So by this line I mean to say they work without any external interference. And also, last but not the least, they team doesn't answer to anyone. Okay, now this is a little tricky one. This means that it's it's the entire team's responsibility of how they perform, and their work or their output is kind of answerable to no one but themselves. Okay. Like that this doesn't mean that they can do whatever they want, and they can have their ways of working. No, this line simply means this team is so responsible, experienced, or I would say authentic, that nobody can come from outside and question them, because everybody knows in that particular team, in that particular project, everybody is aware how much dedicated the Scrum team is. So generally nobody can come, and they are not answerable to anybody, but that doesn't mean in case they have any doubts, in case they have any issues, they definitely approach Scrum Master or product owner as per this understanding. But then because of their way of work, because of their integrity, nobody asks them questions, or they are not answerable, because they know how as a team they're performing or they're working. Are you trying to understand what I'm trying to say here? It's like when you watch any particular match, per se football match. I'm not a sports expert, I'm just giving an example. And when a particular team is playing, and and at the end you see that they have lost, but then they gave their best, they did not leave any chance or anything, or they were prepared well. But then whatever, the other team might have outperformed them, but they ultimately lost. But then we don't question then how can you lose, because you've seen the game, you've seen the dedication, you've seen the deliveries. So in similar fashion, our team is also giving their best and working at the utmost priority and utmost, I would say, deliverable way. So that's why they are not answerable to anybody. So try to remember this tomorrow in your that team. So these are the basic expectations from that team, that you have to deliver your best, and they do. Okay. So yes, any doubts? This is more or less a repetition of the earlier slide, or just few important items. If no, then we can go to the next slide, please. Yes. So here you see a cross-functional team has access to all the skills necessary to effectively deliver values to the customer. So this I had explained in a different way earlier. That means that this team is highly skilled. Everybody should understand that they have the right set of skills, required for your application, or required for the project, right? And now I'll request others to just read out these. There are 3 line items, and I think each one of you can read one, please. I just want your understanding what it is.
Cross-functional team has access to all the skills necessary to effectively deliver value to customers.
Okay, I just explained that. Thank you, Savan. Yeah, next. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
A cross-functional team does not have to consist of all generalists.
Okay, next.
A cross-functional team also does not have to consist of all specialists.
Okay, now that's interesting. Next line, please.
You will generally find that a cross-functional team consists of a mix of people who have some knowledge about a lot of different areas, and others who are stronger in one area but are willing to help out in other areas where needed and when they can.
So thank you so much. Now you must be seeing that this is little contradictory. They are not generalists, but they are not specialists also. So here what we want to say is, or what this concept is trying to teach us is that, first of all, the team is experienced. So the team members or the resources have knowledge of their own field. Okay, but that doesn't mean that they have to be the specialist or super experts. What they have to be is, they have to be well experienced, well exposed, with good exposure, with good hands-on work, as well as they usually have some experience of other verticals or other streams also. Like, I'll give you some basic example. As a developer, as any kind of developer, they do have some basic understanding of testing also. Like for example, any developer or other, every developer have to do unit testing. That means once they develop a website or web application or anything that they're working on, any mobile application, they do one simple basic round of testing on their own. So that basic testing is called as unit testing. So a developer had some basic understanding of testing, I would say. Along with that, again, a developer has some basic understanding of business analysis also. Like they know what is the flow because they have worked on so many applications earlier. They know how the business flow works, like if it's a payment model or if it's a deposits model, or if it's a liability side of banking. They know how it works, what all assets are there, what kind of loans are there, home loan, vehicle loan, whatever, personal loan, loan over card, or anything. So this kind of so this is a specific example for development team. This is again specific to analyst BAs also. Many a times or majority of times BAs are actively involved in testing, right? So they sit with the testing team. They carry out testing. Why? Because they know how the application works. So they have been a part of earlier meetings, say they know the functionality flows, so they are the right people or right candidate for testing also. So here, when I say they are not specialist and not generalist, means they know what they're working on, but they are also aware of other streams, or other, if they are not work, they have the knowledge of how the other things work, right? A tester is also very well aware of how the development flow will work. They will not be able to develop something, but they know how the flow will look like, right? So they are also very closely related to the business analyst. So this way, everybody is kind of well versed in other streams also, though they do not work on them practically, but they are very much aware of how that entire workflow happens, right? So this is what it means, that they do not consist of generalists, or they do not consist of specialists. That means they do not have to have experts all the time, but they need to have people who have the general idea, as well as about other processes, as well as they're well equipped in their work. Okay, are we good in this? Anybody has any doubts? I know this might sound a little confusing, that's why I give so much time on this. Are we good, guys? Yes, no?
I'm good.
At least yeses.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Sonali.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, thank you, Savan, Pratibha. Yes, I hope Aparna and Aparmita. Yes, thank you. Aparna, are we good
Yes,
to go ahead?
yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Aparmita, from your thumbs up. Yeah, yeah. So how does it help? Okay, so again, it's a similar way how these teams operate and how these team function, how these team achieve their goal. So I'll request all of you to read one by one, please.
cross-functional teams can be viewed as a team of cross-functional individuals with different functional and domain expertise.
For
For example,
example,
Thank you.
okay,
Yeah.
go ahead, Sonali.
all right. For example, if one effort is weakening a sprint cycle, then in a cross-functional team, members with stronger skills can associate and work with other team members to complete the sprint on time.
Yeah, thank you, Sonali. Next, please.
A cross-functional team should be able to self-organize and keep a continuous flow of features after every sprint.
Absolutely right. Next, thank you.
Encouraging employees to become cross-functional individual creates workforce flexibility.
Right, right. Yeah, thank you, Savan. Next, anybody can repeat?
Expert.
Expertise.
Go ahead.
No, Savan, you go ahead.
Thank you. Expertise in one area and shallow experience across the board help in lowering defects and speed up cycle time.
Yeah, thank you, Savan. So honestly, the last point that we just discussed, that expertise in one area and shallow or some experience in other, helps them to speed up the cycle. So this simply means they want people who have some knowledge of other fields along with their own expertise field, right? This is what we learned. Now going back to the first point again, See, this simply means this team with different functional and domain expertise. Okay, now I was really expecting to you to ask this question, that why we need these kind of people. Okay, there can be a question of why. It simply means, like, see, imagine in a particular typical home, like, we have our, say, per se, in a joint family, we have our grandparents, we have our parents, then we have our siblings, and in case we have our uncle, aunties, or anybody staying, I'm just assuming a joint family. So, your grandma would be an expert on all the Ayurveda or all the home remedies or all the earlier style of cooking. Okay, your grandpa might be very well versed with how the government offices work culture is, and he might have some uh, knowledge of earlier senior members to approach to. Your parents might be working in a private sector. Your mother might your mother might be in some different sector, maybe say medicine, so she has that knowledge. Your father might be in IT or other industry. Your siblings might be studying maybe some architect or lawyer, law, or anything like that. So you see, here we have a blend of people. And as a young girl or boy, if you want to make your career, if you want to think about something, you have everything at home, and you know whom to reach out to for any kind of advice, right? Like, if somebody is not feeling well, somebody is sick, grandma will take over, and then she'll have her home remedies, and she knows how to take care of that person, and then that will be all fine. In case we have any doubt, or any legal matters to take action on, or we need guidance, you have some of your uncles or siblings who are pursuing law or are already practicing law. So this is just I know this is a hypothetical example, but this is the kind of example that we have in a Scrum team, wherein we have people from development, testing, analysis, architect, database, front end, whatever, middle layer development, or API development team. So you name it and you have it. So this kind of team actually uh, is very helpful from delivery point of view. And also, this is what it helps is, like, if you are weakening a particular sprint cycle, that means maybe in one of the sprint cycle, your delivery is not on point, you are delaying, or you need, or some of the team members might have some doubts. The other senior or experienced team members can pitch in, and they can guide them, they can help them in their work. See, when I say help, that doesn't mean that you have to sit and work on their instead of them or on their behalf. I remember being in part of IT for such a long time. There are brainstorming sessions. What is a brain? What do you understand by a brainstorming session? Tell me. I just want to know, because it's very important. Because this is a term you might use or might hear in our industry. Yeah. What is a brainstorming session?
Everybody pitch in with their ideas.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes it's also called as a war room, but the context is different. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Pitch in their ideas, that's fine. But how, why, when, where, some context.
Like it's very long sessions with the
I'm afraid it's not the always requirement. See, it
okay.
is actually what it says: brainstorming session or brainstorm session. So what does that mean to you?
It'll just be like a quick session between like everyone pitching their ideas about what to do, what about the problem, like anything that's going to be arising to help each other out.
Okay, that sounds quite right about. Yeah, very close. Yes, others, if anybody wants to pitch in some ideas. Even right now, what I'm asking you about brainstorming is kind of like a brainstorming. So basically, what does I'll not take much of your time and I'll start explaining. Brainstorming session or brainstorm, or in some context, war room means. See, first of all, you have to be physically. It's better if you are geographically at one location, so you get into a conference room or any any confined space, and you sit there. The duration is depending upon till the time you get a response or a result or a way out. So it's basically storming your brains out, giving your ideas, your thoughts, your visions, your way out, your workouts, how it can be done. So it's basically to sit together and try to work out something till the time you come up with an outcome or a result. Okay. So this is the kind of help that is also very much required, or that is also very much done in such environment, that an architect might not come and sit with you and work instead of you, but he will guide you. Rather, he or she will tell you that what can be the approach, what can be the way you can look at the things, what can be the way of thinking that you have to develop. Okay, so this is what it means when they say that they can with members with stronger skills can associate and work with other team members to complete the sprint on time. So it's just like, if you have any niece or nephew, or your kids are struggling with their homework, and you just help them, just help them. Oh, this is how you can multiply, this is the way you can do, and then they got the required boost, and they're on their own. They are very much on their own, they're confident, and they have completed their work or their studies. So similar fashion, this is done. And also, a cross-functional team should be able to self-organize and keep a continuous flow of features every sprint, after every sprint. This simply means they have to deliver in each and every sprint as per the planned sprint. Okay. So a continuous flow of features means they have to work as per, or they have to deliver as per the planned sprint. Now, this is quite interesting. Encouraging employees to become cross-functional individuals to create workforce flexibility. This is my personal experience. When I was a part of Accenture, I was a .NET developer, and they asked me to get cross skill on MS Microsoft CRM. Okay, that's customer relationship management, or a kind of that kind of I would say application is heavily used in multiple industries. So they wanted to have more skilled resources. So in many a times, even companies encourage existing employees to get cross skilled, like to learn some other skill in detail, so they can be used. So these resources can be used in other projects with that skill also. So yes, teams heavily do this when they need. See what happens. Hiring a skilled resource from outside of the organization is quite a cumbersome task. Okay, it requires a lot of work, like screening of the resources, their interviews, then their response, then waiting till their notice period, and then countries like India, we have notice period like 60 to 90 days. So it's quite a long time. So instead of that, or along with that, to get the work started, many companies kind of intend or request the internal team members to get cross skilled, and as they're learning, and once they are comfortable, their training is done, they'll start kind of work in this new skill. So this process is called as a cross skill or cross skilling. Okay, try to remember for your knowledge point of view. And yes, experience in one area, that I just already explained, that this is how it works. You can be an expert in something, but if you also have knowledge of some other field, it will absolutely help in this kind of setup, right? So I think we had quite an in-depth explanation on this. Anybody has any doubts? Yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down, or we can go to the next slide.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yes,
Good.
thank
Good.
you. Yeah, thank you, Aparmita. Thank you, guys. Yes. Gaurav, you want to add something, or we can go to the next slide? Yeah.
Yeah,
Gaurav has
so
already.
we are at next slide, Prerna.
Yeah. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you. So yes, see, I really like this image where you see you have a painter, you have maybe a carpenter, you have a senior, you have an officer, you have a tools person. So this is what kind of team which we are looking at, that we have everybody from different departments, and they are contributing. So this team, this kind of team reduces 7 kinds of waste. So I just rather they are 2, 4, 5. Yeah. So can anybody read one type and then explain what they understand? What kind of waste that they feel that is? Yeah. I'm starting with delays. The next is, yeah, I couldn't hear. Yeah.
Defects.
Thank you. Yes.
Partially done work.
Okay.
Paperwork,
Thank you. Next.
Task switching,
Okay.
Handoffs.
Okay. And last.
Extra feature.
Okay. So now I'll start with delays. Then you'll have to kind of, you can explain in your own words. What do you understand when you say this word in context of delays? So wastage, sorry. When I say delays means, as we learned in the earlier slide, if some of the team members are lagging behind or they have some doubts, other senior or experienced team members can pitch in and can help them get started. So this kind of helps them to not get into delayed mode, or get the functionality done super fast. So this is the way how they avoid, or how they reduce the waste, the delays waste, like they ensure that there are no delays. Now this is the explanation for delays. Now everybody who answered this can just give 1-2 liner, or others are also welcome. So when I say defects, what do you understand? How they reduce this wastage of defect? Yeah.
The product isn't working as it was intended when they tested it.
Okay, but my question is, Savan, how do cross-functional team help to reduce these type of wastage? So how they help to reduce the defects? That's the question. That is for everyone.
I think for whenever any defects comes in, they discuss upon it and they try to find the solution for it. So it's a solution.
Absolutely well explained. That was Sonali, right? Sonali, very well. This is what it is. So this applies to all the wastage or wastes. Sorry. So when I say defects, that means everybody sit together and they ensure that they do not spend much of their time or unnecessary time on this, and then get the work done. Okay. Same applies for partially done work. So basically, whenever there is some work that is half done or other half baked cake, we call it, So other team members, senior team members, they guide the team and they ensure that the work is completed in a quick mode without any further delays. Paperwork, again, as we mentioned, that Scrum is kind of designed in such a way that they do not waste too much time in paperwork, though necessary paperwork is done, necessary documentation has been taken care of, which is required for sprint or for overall project point of view. But unnecessary lengthy paperwork is avoided, and this is how they handle this waste. And task switching simply means you're shifting from one work to another work. So you're kind of leaving the earlier work half done and then getting into another job. So that's kind of wasting your time, that you're not completed with the earlier work and are getting to the second job. And similarly, hands off means basically you're kind of delegating the exact current work to others. That kind of you know kind of waste, kind of have other breaks in between, that the you're working on something and then you're giving it to someone, so this kind of gives the I would say there is no continuous flow. Okay, so that is why it's ensured that you complete one task in full, so there is no break or there is no So simply means you don't wait for someone else to complete their work and then come to you. So there should not be any two dependency that, uh, for simply means everybody has to work on their own majority of the time. I understand sometimes there is some dependency, but that doesn't mean that, okay, I'm waiting for Gaurav to finish his task and then I'll work. So till the time he's working and I'm not working, my productive time is being wasted, right? So this is what a handoff means, that other team members should not wait for some other to complete their work and then they should start working. An extra feature simply means if customer has not asked for any particular feature, and if the kind of feature you want to give additional can have too much time or too much effort, when we from cost and time point of view, that simply is not required, and that simply is a waste of time, waste of effort, right? So these are like different type of wastes which can be reduced when we work in such a, I would say, effective, experienced, and proactive team. Okay, so is everybody good on this? This is more of like a general understanding, but definitely good to know when you enter into the industry or working with the Scrum team. Any doubts on this? Yes, no?
No.
Thank you,
No,
No.
Savan. Yeah.
no.
Yeah, this is, even I understand this is quite from common sense and general understanding point of view. But when we enter into Scrum area, these things are definitely good to know from overall clarity per se. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, Gaurav, we can move to next slide, please. Yeah. Yeah, I'll again request everyone to read one point. I think this is more or less similar to what we just learned. Yeah.
Cross-functional team members develop a process, they will work together.
Yeah, we have already discussed this, that as a team, as a cross-functional, as a not generalist, not specialist, but experts in their area, they work together. Yes. Next, please.
The business domain expert in the team give continuous feedback, which helps to shorten the cycle time and guides the team members when to stop overdosing on a feature so that business value can be realized in a timely manner.
Absolutely. Now, this is a very good, important point. Okay. I'll give you some very simple example which you might all relate to. Remember when you were in primary school and you had that drawing exam or drawing session, painting session or drawing session. So as a kid, we used to we used to go such overboard with those crayons and painting something over and over again with different colors, and we're just aggressive, and because we're kids, we do not know how to do that, and we're just getting all the colors, we're super excited, and we are just painting, and the scope is done. We're just kind of wasting those crayons. So the teacher would come and politely and sweetly say, hey honey, you're done. This is fine. This looks okay. That's okay. You can work on something else. So what was it? It was just that in that that extra excitement, or in that spur of a moment, you're just going on and on and on, and you do not know where to stop, right? So in such a scenario, we need the senior team members to tell us where to stop, where not to overdose it. If we have promised or kind of we are expected to deliver a particular feature, we should know where to stop without overdoing it. Okay, so this simply means sticking to the plan and delivering what has been asked for instead of overdoing anything. Fine, are we good? I think this is what this line meant. Yes, and the last line
And
is, yeah,
Cross-functional teams are more productive than teams with similarly skilled people working on similar projects.
right, right. And you tell me why this happens, why these teams are more productive. What do you feel, why? Anybody, everybody, just one liner or one word. Why?
They would have like different, they all have different expertise. So if there's a problem that
Yes.
arises, so one of them will know how to fix it compared to like a team that has like same skills. If they have a problem, then most of them probably won't know what to do.
Perfectly answered. Perfectly answered. Anybody else wants to add something here? Come on. I know he answered, but you can add something. Yeah.
Some people have functional expertise, some people have domain expertise. So when they
Yes.
exchange ideas, it becomes easy to
Absolutely.
work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for adding. Yeah. Anybody else? But I'm pretty sure you understood what it tries to say. Yeah, Pratibha.
Yeah, people from different teams, they have different ideas over the same projects. So I think it's add more creative and productive.
Yes, yes, absolutely right. Yes. Thank you so much. I am myself pretty confident that you've understood this. If you still have any doubts, you can reach out, you can ask after the session. But I think for now, we are good on this. Yeah, Gaurav, we can go to the next slide, please. Yes, now this is something I really like. That's why on purpose I have. You see this functional team, everybody in the same color and same team. Like we have developers in blue, testers in per se orangish yellow, or analyst in pink, and these are like separate teams. But look at the cross-functional team. How wonderfully mixed. We have one analyst, we have four developers, we have three testers. There can be more, there can be architects and database experts and whatnot. But do you see why we have these pictures or these diagrams is because these kind of images have a better memory capture in your brain, so even if you look at the picture, you can kind of remember some of the points, like okay, they are people from different background, different expertise, and they all work together. So that is why isn't this quite good for the clarity point of view, like we have all the members from different teams on different backgrounds. Yes, I personally felt so. So that is
Yes.
why we have this cross-functional team representation from various functions. Yes, yes. Next slide, Gaurav, please. Yeah, yeah. Somebody was saying something. Yeah, yeah, Gaurav. Next slide.
So, Prerna, I think you really covered it up really well. Functional, cross-functional.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah. So I just wanted to add something over here, and yeah.
please go ahead.
So as you have seen it, that cross-functional and functional. So functional is one portion, okay, of one entity. Cross-functional coming together from everywhere. Okay. So can someone quickly tell me, so far what Prerna has explained, what did you understand by cross-functional? You can just take a word or so and tell me that what do you now understand by cross-functional. So who can go
People from
first?
different, yeah,
Yeah,
people from different expertise coming together to
Okay.
work towards same project.
Okay, thanks, Sonali. Pratibha?
yes, like people from different team, different departments come together to work on a same project, something like that.
Exactly. So yes, people from different department coming at one place. So that's how it explains cross-functional. And yeah, so this is the thing. And self-organizing is that no supervision is required. But yeah, they are ready to supervise their own work, and then thereby they will be able to deliver their work. Okay. So, by the way, any question around this? Because I just wanted to quickly add this brief. So, if not, then I think Prerna, we have come to the end of this chapter. But I also want to say that next
Mm-hmm.
chapter, next chapter will be very important, where we will be getting into the deep depth of the estimation. And on Sunday, even if someone joins in, so next Sunday will be the transition, where we will be getting into the depth of business analyst. Okay, so
Right.
business analysis track will get start from the next Saturday. We may have the new enrollment as well. And if you want to include any of your friends, like in our previous batch, someone included her friends. So if you want someone else to get benefited, definitely you can invite anyone. I mean, of course, through the enrollment process. And second, one thing I once again like to reiterate: you don't know the power of summary until you will not deliver. You cannot even sense. Okay, so not everyone can do that, and it takes a lot in the background for a rocket to launch. What do I mean by the rocket to launch is in that you need to get placed. Okay, you are being prepared over here, and don't just consider this as a training. This is a complete two-way communication. This is something we are giving you for you to deliver something, and in return we are asking you to deliver your own summary. If you cannot do that, you cannot assess your own confidence. If you cannot assess your own confidence, we cannot assess that how much work we need to do upon you, because this is the only time. Otherwise training is over, you will go away, and then there will be no connection. There will be disconnection, and you will find that you did not do justice to yourself. So at least start doing justice to yourself, summarize it, deliver it, and start working as a business analyst and product owner, or scrum master, even before you could get placed as the one. Do you all agree with me what I said?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is high time. We are getting into transition mode of business analyst very, very soon. Now this is your responsibility. Now you have to take the responsibility if something does not work in your favor. So that only I wanted to add over here. Prerna, so you can go ahead with this any closing remarks. I know that all the cross-functional and self-organizing organizing thing you have
So I
explained.
personally feel, Gaurav, we ourselves are a cross-functional and self-organizing team, because here everybody is from different background, medical and industry, or somebody was homemaker, or somebody was into other. But still, we are here getting skilled into this course, and we have our strengths and expertise. So we have to use that, and quite rightly mentioned, please be in this momentum, be aligned with the current synergy, that sharing of the videos, and being active, because as Gaurav said, I think he'll very soon share the video of our earlier student who got placed, and she's really doing well. And in her own words, she has given the importance of all the videos creation, or summary videos and RRP sessions. So guys, this is coming from people who have achieved their goal, and they're working on their dream job, or at least something on their own, with the help of Guru Schools they have achieved. So these things might look small, these things might look at times you might feel, is it worth the effort? I have to sit and create a video, but trust me, uh, the HRs are looking at you, the outside HRs, the Guru Schools teams, including Gaurav. He makes superb videos of your, consolidating everybody's remarks and all. And those are highlighted to the outside, companies. So you featuring into them, giving your views, having your face in these videos is absolutely a one step ahead, along with others who are not doing that. Your efforts are being noticed, and they are highlighted. So you're just getting one step closer to your goal. You're preparing videos, you're preparing your notes. The next step is you're getting into RRRB sessions, and you're working on your CV. And once your CV looks good, it takes proper shape, Dave sir approves of it, you share that with your HR, and next you just have no idea how quickly there are interviews happening. rather me and Gaurav, we have to plan our mock interviews because there's so many requests coming in. Everybody is, asking us that, can we have a session? Can we have a session? We are kind of having a schedule managed as per that. Trust me, things are moving in great pace. So do you want to be in that ride or not? That's the question. And that totally depends on the kind of efforts you want to put in. So yes, we are there 24 by 7. We are just a message and a call away. You can ask us any doubts, but then definitely we need efforts from your end on yourself. So talk in front of the mirror, prepare videos, attend RRP sessions, ask us any doubts you want to review. We also have detailed review sessions on resume also. Once your resume is, while you're working on your resume after joining RRP sessions. So we are there to support you, to guide you, to channelize your energy in every manner. But the thing is, you have to take that step forward, and that is it. Within no time, I don't want to say particular days, but within a couple of months, you will be onboarded in a great company with a very good or lucrative package for the start, and that's it. That is what we are here, right? That is why we are here. So yes, Gaurav, I just wanted to them to understand this process. Others have benefited from it, and we have upcoming people who are lined up for the interviews. So this was from my side. And yes, please do rewatch the videos, because that is the way to understand better. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much. Gaurav, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much. So quickly, I'm going to recap this. So have you taken notes of or a screenshot of this, Sonali and Aparna and
Yes.
others? You had
Yes.
taken the notes of it. So last
Yes.
time when I was explaining the user story, it was very, very simple. As a user, I want to do something so that the impact will be this. So now I wanted you to work on this. So it's a very, very simple. So as a frequent flyer, I want to win 50% off under bronze membership so that I can qualify the economic class, provided I have traveled below 1,000 kilometers. Okay, this is number one. Is it clear now? Everyone. So whatever just now I said, you can go back and listen to me what I said in the recording as well. Okay, whatever I said, the same thing you will be writing for silver. Same thing you will be writing for the gold. Same thing you will be writing for the business bronze and business silver and business gold. And same thing happen, only the distance will change for economy under bronze, silver, gold, and business bronze, silver, gold. And the same will go when the distance will further increase towards the 2,500 kilometers. Is it now clear little bit? Can you try with your own self, Aparna
Yes.
and Sonali?
The count 50%, 75% means we get back cash back.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh.
It could be any kind of benefit. Okay, you qualify. In fact, the these are the tags of the membership, in what category membership you are into, and what kind of discount you will get. Okay, so the 50% is the discount. If, say, for example, the cost of one one frequent flying or destination is somewhere $1,000, just for example. Okay, so if it is $1,000, or say for example $700, so what is going to happen, instead of 700, because you have traveled with that airline within 1,000 kilometer, and you have taken the membership under the bronze category, the 50% discount will be given to you. Okay, so every time you need to just pay $350. Okay, the same will go if you are under 75%. So this is what I am explaining, to explain you well, so that you can create the user story. Understand that the user story has to be created very, very well, so that your reader can understand it very, very well. So this is how it is. Yeah.
Okay, and we should write a new acceptance criteria, or we can use whatever is here.
So yeah, so against every user story, you can write acceptance criteria in the similar manner, given, when, then. And remember, don't try to club 2 or 3, more than one acceptance criteria into one user story. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So against one user story, one criteria will go. All right.
Okay.
So did I explain everything? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for asking this question, Aparna and Sonali. And with this note, we have come to the end of this session. And quickly, because I was talking to Aparna, one thing you would like to say from today's training. What do you feel like saying, Aparna?
It was very interesting, and I would like to rewatch them, and I definitely want to summarize. Yeah.
Okay, super. Aparna, call out someone's name on the screen, you see.
Sonali.
Sonali, what do you feel like saying?
Awesome session, as always, very informative. Definitely lots of information to drink in, to eat in. So yeah, definitely would summarize and would rewatch. Thank you.
Okay, amazing. Sonali, call out someone's name on the screen, you see.
Sure. Pratibha?
Pratibha, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav and Prerna, for this session. Yeah, it was informative.
Okay, call out someone's name on the screen.
Savan.
Savan, yes sir, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, so today's session was very informative. Learned a lot about cross-functional teams, but I will definitely be rewatching and making sure I understand everything.
And call out one's name, please.
Aparmita.
Aparmita is not going to speak.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry about that. Then Prerna.
Prerna, yeah. Yes, Prerna. And
Thank you so much,
Aparmita.
Savan. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Aparmita. By the way, I really wanted to thank Aparmita, though she's not speaking, but her understanding is on the point. The kind of answers she was texting was really superb. And thank you so much to everyone, because the kind of involvement you have in a session, from the understanding point of view, from the doubts point of view, is really simply superb. I can feel that you're connected to us during the session. So yes, overall, a wonderful session and with very important topics. So thank you so much. And, please be in this force and let us know what kind of guidance or help you want. So overall, a great session. Over to you, Gaurav. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prerna, for summarizing and telling these all and appreciating everyone over here. So yes, with this appreciation note, I want to really thank every one of you for taking time and showing up over here in the live, because it is easy to catch up on the recording, but still you are here. So very, very appreciable stuff you are doing. And yes, remember to come back again on the next Wednesday. Okay, so next Wednesday. And remember, before that, if you can catch up on the RRP session, or also you can summarize it, it is going to add some points to you. So thank you so much, and take care, everyone. Good night. Talk to you soon.
Good night. Bye-bye. Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.